Our bodies have a way of whispering to us long before they start shouting, and the older I get, the more I realize how easy it is to ignore those whispers. A little swelling in the ankles, a cramp when we climb the stairs, a patch of skin that looks a little different than before. Most of us brush these things off. We say, "I'm just getting older." We laugh about needing bigger shoes or sitting too long. But what I've learned is that sometimes those small signals, especially in our legs, are the body's earliest warnings that something bigger is happening inside. If we take them seriously, we may prevent a crisis. If we don't, we might lose years we didn't have to lose. Today, I want to share 3 hidden signs in your legs that doctors don't always emphasize, but that can change the course of your health if you pay attention. Along the way, I'll share the stories of people I've known, ordinary folks who missed the signs, and what happened as a result. Before we dive in, if you find comfort in honest conversations like this, hit subscribe. We share stories that don't just pass time, they help make sense of it. Story 1. Swelling that doesn't go away. Richard was a retired machinist in his late 60s. His garage smelled faintly of oil and sawdust, and he could lose whole afternoons tinkering with the engines of old cars. Most evenings, though, his socks would leave deep ridges on his ankles. By dinner time, his shoes felt tight. He joked about it with his wife, saying, "Guess my legs don't like gravity anymore." Inside, though, he noticed something that nagged at him. His legs felt heavy, almost as though he were dragging weights. Sometimes he'd sit in his recliner, rubbing his calves while the evening news played, wondering why they felt so stiff. But like many of us, he didn't want to make a fuss. He didn't want to worry his family or spend more time in waiting rooms. One afternoon, while visiting his daughter, Richard collapsed in the driveway. His granddaughter, playing nearby with chalk on the sidewalk, was the first to see him fall. She screamed for her mum. That memory haunted him later. He hated the idea that a child he loved so dearly had been the one to witness such a frightening moment. In the hospital, when the doctor explained his heart was working at less than half its normal capacity, Richard felt a mix of shame and disbelief. "I thought I was fine," he admitted quietly. "I thought I was just old. I didn't realize my body was crying out for help." His wife later said he spent weeks replaying that thought, regretting that he hadn't listened sooner. Here's what we can learn from Richard's story. Persistent swelling isn't just an inconvenience. It can be a signal of heart or vein trouble. And there are 3 simple habits that can help. Lift your legs daily. Prop them above your heart for half an hour. It gives your veins a break. Cut hidden salt. It hides in canned soups, deli meats, and even antacids. Reducing it can ease swelling quickly. Try the sock test. Press your thumb into your ankle for 3 seconds. If the dent lingers, call your doctor and ask about a BMP test. Richard's family often says now, "If we had known then what we know now, things could have been different." And that's something worth remembering. Changes in color and temperature. Margaret was a retired librarian, practical, steady, and deeply caring. Her garden was her pride, filled with roses and tomatoes she'd been tending for decades. She also cherished reading to her grandkids every Sunday afternoon, their little voices joining hers as she turned the pages. One summer, she noticed a pale patch on her lower leg that felt cool to the touch. She ignored it, thinking it was from sitting too long while knitting in her favorite chair. Her doctor even dismissed it, saying it was just circulation. Months passed, and that patch spread. She began holding onto the fence as she walked her garden rows. She would pause among the flowers she loved, pretending to admire a bloom, while secretly steadying herself. Her daughter noticed her struggling to climb the porch steps one afternoon and said, "Mom, something isn't right. Please get this checked." Margaret sighed, embarrassed, but finally agreed. When the specialist told her she had major blockages in her leg arteries, Margaret later confessed to feeling both betrayed by her body and angry at herself. "I just wanted to enjoy my flowers. I didn't know my legs were showing me what my heart was hiding." The hardest part, though, wasn't the diagnosis. It was missing those Sunday walks to the park with her grandchildren. She had to sit out, watching from a bench, while her daughter pushed the swings. She told me once, with tears in her eyes, "You don't realize what you'll miss until it's gone. And by then, it's too late." Her story shows us that changes in skin color or temperature can be serious signs of blocked arteries. Here are 3 ways to catch and prevent trouble. Check your pulses. Feel for them at the top of your foot and behind your inner ankle bone. If one is weak, it's time to check in with a doctor. Small daily moves. Ankle circles, toe curls, leg extensions. Simple exercises that keep the blood moving. Eat for your vessels. Berries, salmon, and leafy greens help protect arteries. They don't work overnight, but they add up. Margaret's daughter later told me, "I wish I had pushed her harder when I first saw the changes." Families often carry that weight, too. Pain when walking. Then there was June, a retired teacher with a terrier who loved her daily walks. At first, she could stroll around the block without a problem. The neighbors all knew her by her cheerful wave and the way her dog trotted proudly beside her. But over time, her calves began to cramp after just a block or two. She'd stop, rest by leaning against a fence, and the pain would fade, only to return when she started walking again. She brushed it off, telling herself, "I'm just out of shape." But deep down, she felt uneasy. She was embarrassed to mention it at her annual checkup. Why bother the doctor with something so small, she thought. When June suffered a stroke months later, her family was blindsided. Her daughter said, "Mom, if you had told us, we would have taken you in sooner." June admitted through tears, "I didn't want to be a burden. I thought I could handle it." The saddest part wasn't the hospital stay. It was what she lost afterward. She could no longer take her terrier on the long walks she loved. Her neighbor later told me she used to light up on those walks. Losing that broke something inside her. But June's story also reminds us that it doesn't have to end that way. Here are steps that can help. Interval walking. Walk until the pain starts. Rest until it eases, then walk again. Just 7 minutes a day of this stop-start rhythm can strengthen circulation. Protective foods. Garlic, pomegranate juice, walnuts, everyday foods that support artery health. Better oil. Replace corn oil with olive oil. That one change can keep arteries more flexible. June's family often reflects, "We wish we had known that her pain wasn't weakness. It was a warning." I share these stories not to frighten you, but because they remind us all of something important. Our bodies are speaking if we're willing to listen. Swelling that doesn't fade. Skin that changes color. Cramps that return when we walk. These aren't just inconveniences of age. They are signals, red flags, invitations to pay attention. When we're younger, we can ignore aches and bounce back. But after 60, ignoring these whispers can take away the things that mean the most. Our independence, our simple joys, our time with those we love. Living wisely after 60 isn't only about avoiding disease. It's about protecting our freedom to live fully. It's about recognizing that every small choice, what we eat, how we move, when we listen to our bodies, shapes the quality of the years ahead. It's also about legacy. When we take care of ourselves, we're not just doing it for us, we're doing it for our children, our grandchildren, and those who love us. They want us here. They want more Sunday walks, more birthday parties, more everyday conversations. I think often about how the most precious parts of life are the ordinary ones. The smell of dinner cooking while family gathers, the laughter of kids running through a yard, the quiet joy of reading a book in the afternoon sun. Health gives us access to those moments. Without it, even the simplest joys can slip away. So I'll ask you, what is your body whispering to you right now? Maybe it's in your legs, maybe somewhere else. Whatever it is, don't dismiss it. Listening might be the very thing that gives you more mornings to wake up beside someone you love, more afternoons to play with the kids, more evenings to watch the sun go down. If what I've shared feels meaningful, I'd be grateful if you'd give this video a like and subscribe for more reflections on living wisely after 60. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these 3 signs surprised you most? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you know someone over 65, share this with them. It may be the most important gift you give. Take care of your legs, my friends. They've carried you this far. Let's honor them so they can carry us through the years, still waiting to be lived.